Welcome to Finder TV. I'm Chris Dead, this is Aaron McAllister, and we are the streaming and entertainment writers for Finder and all our global websites across the world. Now today we're going to talk about Disney Plus, which has just had a significant price rise, but it's come with a lot of content. We're going to have a look and see whether it's still worth it or if it's even more worth it in 2021. Now, as many of you would know, the Disney service first launched in North America in November 2019, and it's slowly rolled out across the globe, but it's been warmly received pretty much everywhere it's gone, reaching 100 million subscribers already. Now, it has had a significant price increase. That increase rolled through in February 2021 and has changed the way that many people are looking at the service. So let's start by having a quick chat, Aaron, about why we saw this price increase.
Yeah, Disney Plus integrated a brand new channel into its content called Star. It's essentially Hulu, so those who are familiar with the US streaming service, that's probably how we're going to get it worldwide, under the Star banner. It's bringing with it a $2 to $3 price rise, or euro, whatever country you're located in, a slight bump to both monthly and annual subscriptions. But the key thing they've done is made sure that it is still cheaper than Netflix's basic plans.
Now, I was going to ask about that because obviously when Disney Plus first launched, it was actually a really attractive price point for what the content it offered. You know, you had Star Wars, National Geographic, Pixar, the Disney stuff as well. So it had so much going for it. Marvel, can't forget Marvel, obviously, at a very compelling price point. But now we've seen this increase in price. How does it still compare with those other big whoppers out there?
Obviously, Netflix is still the big fish out there, so Disney Plus has made sure that it's positioned only more expensive than its basic plans, but cheaper than its standard and premium plans. And of course, it gives you 4K, all the profiles and everything else. You don't need to pick a different tier. And you know, Prime Video, it's about the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I must admit, when it comes to Netflix, I can't imagine there's too many people out there nowadays looking at that basic plan. I mean, standard definition in 2021, most people are not going to cop that suite. So you're really not comparing apples and apples there?
No, standard definition and only one device. Come on, who doesn't borrow their friend's Netflix password?
So how then is Star integrated into the Disney Plus app that people may have flirted with or experienced in the past?
Yeah, so as those who are familiar with Disney Plus already would know, it uses the 5 tiles when it originally launched: Marvel, National Geographic, Disney, Pixar and Star Wars.
Yep.
It's simply just added Star in as another tile. There are a few things that are different though. When you first go into it, given that Disney Plus has always been a family streaming service, you will need to sign off and say, I do want adult content. You can limit it to whether you want M-rated content or R-rated content. So maybe if your kids are just on the cusp, you're happy for them to watch something like The Martian, but you don't want them to go and watch Borat.
Definitely not. Okay, so I guess I'm interested in hearing your perspective on this, being I have 3 children and they're aged, you know, just under 10 and down. So for me, Disney Plus was always a no-brainer, but as someone who doesn't have kids, how has the addition of Star changed the way you're looking at the streaming app?
Yeah, I definitely think it's now more appealing to everyone. As someone who's, you know, doesn't have kids and also isn't a fanboy or fangirl of Marvel or Star Wars or any of them, I was never really attracted to Disney Plus for myself personally.
Yeah.
But with the addition of Star, it really changes that. Like, you now do have the option to look at all of those fanboy, fangirl types of things, but also you've got all the new content like Grey's Anatomy, Prison Break, and I think we know that Disney Plus will make all of those exclusive eventually, given that they own them. So then it becomes appealing, because if I want to watch those shows, where else can I go?
Yeah, I guess so, but it's still awfully legacy content reliant, right? And look, I'll be the first to admit, the first thing I did when Star arrived was put on The Simpsons, went back to season 1 and started watching. And you know, that was amazing. I couldn't believe it when Futurama was there as well, another one of my all-time favourites, so I started to watch that. So for me, yeah, I'm getting a lot out of the legacy content. You know, one of the big criticisms of Disney over its year and a half so far, or a bit longer in the market, is that there's just not enough new content. Has that changed?
It's changing. It hasn't changed fully yet. COVID did not do it any favours. You know, as the entire market saw, it had plenty of releases planned and they've all got delayed. We have recently had WandaVision come out. We've just had The Falcon and the Winter Soldier release. You know, they do have plenty of big releases planned on the Marvel and Star Wars front. I think it's 12 Marvel series and 10 Star Wars series to
Yeah,
come.
wow.
But then they are going to plan more for that wider audience. We know Keeping Up with the Kardashians has just finished, but there is a Kardashian series eventually coming to Star as well.
Look, for me, it's interesting how Star's changed things, because I have all this content that I like to show my kids, like all this nostalgic content like The Simpsons, that I'd like to show them. And that was always the big appeal for me as a parent with Disney, was that there's so many fond memories that I had as a kid involving Disney content, and they're like really into the new stuff that Pixar's releasing and so forth, but being able to access that legacy content and show that to my kids, and it's pretty safe. Like, I know there's been a bit of a hoo-ha about, some of the content not being potentially culturally sensitive in this day and age, but you just got to move on and deal with that. Like, people make they may say that about the content we're making now in 30 years.
Yeah, they do at least put out content warning labels on them now, so those people who may be offended do at least see that warning straight away. But yeah, on your point for that, like, I know my grandparents, who we've set up with Disney Plus, they love the fact they get to go and watch all these old movies with their grandchildren now. Oh
yeah, that's a good way of looking at it as well. The one thing I don't like about the way that Star's been integrated into Disney Plus is that potentially in response to some of the negative criticism they've seen around some of that old content, is that when you choose the kids profile, there's a lot of content that I would consider to be kids, which has been bumped out of there and forced into the adult account profile. Stuff like The Simpsons, for example. And as a result of that, if I want my children to be able to watch The Simpsons, and I'm happy for them to watch The Simpsons, it means that they have to go into the adult content, and literally you got The Simpsons sitting below Deadpool. So like there's too much risk there for me. And I just wish that they would allow you to customise that a bit better.
Yeah, I think it may be coming, because we know The Simpsons originally was on Disney Plus, and that was available for kids just to go and pick and choose. To move it into Star, I know they've done it with The Sound of Music as well. Like, it's things that maybe they've just been a bit too rushed into. They might change it back, but yeah, I think they do need to improve that.
So, a lot of what are the big pros when I first looked at Disney Plus, and you may have spotted my earlier review on YouTube as well in regards to the original launch of Disney Plus, is a lot of the big positives I thought about the service end are still definitely in play. Like, one of the things, and depending on which country and this may change, but as Disney gets more of its legacy content back, it actively makes the competition worse. So Disney gets better, and in doing so, it takes content that's really, really good from its competing services. So, it's coming from attacking it from both angles, if you know what I mean. So that's still in play. And I know you've spoken a lot about the inclusiveness of Disney. Would you say that's still a big part of what makes it a strong option?
Yeah, definitely. I think the fact that it is making the streaming services worse is just actually exciting. All these new branded streaming services that are launching, they are doing that for the reason they want to own their own content and have people pay them directly to watch it instead of someone else. So we look at Grey's Anatomy, for example, that is on Star in most places. Some countries unfortunately don't have it yet, but they're taking it away from Netflix, they're taking it away from Prime Video. They'll at least release a new season of Grey's Anatomy onto Star first, and then we'll bring all the seasons in eventually.
Yeah, and obviously new Simpsons and all that type of stuff will come first to Star as well, plus all that other content we talked earlier that was already there, like your Marvel and your Star Wars. Now, you still get to have 4 simultaneous streams with Disney, which is awesome. You got family sharing, 7 family sharing?
7 profiles.
Yep, and you get 4K, Dolby Atmos, no extra money, it's all in one tier. So when we say inclusiveness, that's what we're referring to, is that you get it all there in that one cost. You don't have to try and be upscaled to some higher thing because you've just capped out on your profiles or something like that, which is one of the big strengths of Disney. They haven't overreached in that regard, which is kind of surprising for the company, to be honest with you. In terms of the things that haven't really been improved yet come 2021, if you have anything that's like a legacy issue that you still think they need to work on?
I think it originally was really easy to navigate in the fact that we were all looking for the new stuff, and you know that if you're going looking for all this old content, you are going to search through a bit. I think with this new big dump of Star shows it has, the navigation isn't too friendly, especially on the Star tile.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big dump, wasn't it, too? How much new content was there? I think it was about 1,000 shows in Australia or something like that?
Yeah, shows and movies combined in Australia was 1,100 odd. I know it was about the same in Canada.
Yeah.
It did differ a lot through Europe,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's obviously a lot.
And I think we can expect to see a lot more content come as old licensing deals which are with competing services run out here in Australia, but also across all the other countries in the world. Do we think now with this price increase that Disney Plus is still a strong app at that price and potentially even an essential buy?
I definitely think it is. If you've got a family, I think it's a real no-brainer. If you're looking to decrease your streaming costs or do something different, it's cheaper than Netflix, and there's plenty of stuff there for the kids or adults to watch. The price point's very, very competitive.
So the price is still there. I think for my money, there's still a little bit of a question mark over genuine new adult content. When we look at kind of the feed coming through some of the other services, like brand new Walking Dead seasons, and I've been watching The Expanse on Amazon, and you got like stuff coming to Netflix all the time, like a crazy amount of new content coming to Netflix. Not all of it's very good, and very few of it is actually very good, but that we've not seen that yet with Disney. So that may be one thing that's still working against it, is if you really want to get a lot of new content constantly, then that is where Disney may let you down. But overall, I've got my subscription. The price has gone up on mine. I'm a family of 5, and we are tending to use it as our default service now pretty much whenever we go to watch something as a family. There you have it, entertainment fans. 2021 is still a killer year for Disney despite the price increase of the Disney Plus app. The new Star channel is definitely worth that extra few dollars a month. Now, if you need any more information on Disney Plus, I highly recommend you go across to the Finder website. We've got a stack of content in there, including lists of all the available shows and what you can find, no matter where you are in the world. Aaron, thanks very much for joining us, mate. What are you going to watch tonight?
I think I'm actually going to start Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, there you go. I think I'm going to tune in for season 5 of The Simpsons, right in the golden era. Thanks for watching.